The Reno Philharmonic has been a part of the city's cultural scene since 1969. Whenever someone new comes aboard, things can evolve quickly, and the Philharmonic did just that when Barry Jekowsky took the helm as music director and conductor. His first performance with the Reno Philharmonic was on September 15, 1998. Now he's stepping down, having given Reno the 10 years he promised when he came here. Tonight, we celebrate his legacy.
A lot of people think Reno is still cowboy country, and they're very surprised to find that we have a Philharmonic orchestra. Back when I was lieutenant governor of the state in the 80s, we would talk to companies. People didn't want to relocate to Nevada because we didn't have the cultural life. Now we have a Philharmonic, we have the Nevada Museum of Art. The arts have come together so well in the past, they even come out in weather like this. Barry Jekowsky, you know, is such a showman, and he has put so much enthusiasm into the Philharmonic that people love to come. You can just see it on the stage, you feel it when he's up there and conducting. He's living every note. And so that's what makes Reno a great place. I was never a big follower of the arts. And so after meeting Barry and everybody, I'm very committed. Oh, I've had roles in Red Monroe High. They wanted to shoot me one time. And, you know, when they started counting off, they got to 2 and I turned around and shot the guy in the back. But what else would you expect from a politician, you know? You know, as the mayor of the city, I'm just tickled to death that they have a free concert that they do at the Silver Legacy so that everybody can come.
At every concert that the Philharmonic performs, somebody comes up to me and says, "This was the best concert you have ever given." And the reason for that is Barry. He has the ability to take music that is performed all over the world, and make it special for Reno. His creativity with the score, his creativity with the presentation makes concerts here a very, very special thing, something that we have all enjoyed so much over the last 10 years.
I was a concert mistress off and on for many years. I started playing with a symphony in 1969 under the conductorship of Gregory Stone, a very well-known musician in Hollywood. 10 years later, when he retired, Ron Daniels came to Reno, and we became a paid orchestra because we had a staff. Ron took us to the next level, and we became very well known, and after 20 years, he retired, and we had different conductors from around the United States vying for the conductorship. And when Barry came to conduct us, we decided that he was the one. I think he inspired us to move forward because he was such a perfectionist. Barry was the type of conductor that knew the score backwards and forwards. He would go through the whole concerto or symphony, and then we would work on passages, sometimes very stressful. We had a lot to learn, that we should really woodshed the music and be prepared. A good conductor knows what he wants to accomplish. He wants the orchestra to know what he wants, and he doesn't use a lot of verbal communication. A lot is playing a passage and then sort of tearing it apart, and he then transcribes to us what he would like to hear. And then it's like a metamorphosis sometimes that we do achieve this.
My wife Christina and I moved to Reno, Nevada from Washington, D.C. I had served as a director of the National Symphony Orchestra. I heard on National Public Radio that the Reno Philharmonic was having a concert. I remembered that Barry Jekowsky, who had been an associate music director in Washington under Rostropovich, was now conducting the Reno Philharmonic, so I figured, well, it can't be all that bad. And to borrow a phrase, we came, we saw, and we were conquered. Barry Jekowsky interpreted the music in a very professional and warm fashion, and the concert as a whole was just absolutely marvelous. After long consideration, the board decided that it would add a second performance. Now that was a leap of faith. This concert hall that we're sitting in today holds approximately 1,700 people. That means that we had to find another 1,700 people to fill the seats. But guess what? We did it. In searching for a music director, we looked for someone who has great charisma, who is willing to engage in the community, not only to raise funds, but to educate our youth, and also one whose interpretive powers are great. We found all of three of those characteristics in ample magnitude in Barry.
Every concert and every season seems to get better than the previous one. So a lot of what we hear is just accolades. Pops on the River is probably the biggest summer party bash, and it's the largest fundraiser that the Reno Philharmonic Guild puts on every year. Barry's role in that is that he obviously conducts a world-class orchestra, and so he's really brought a lot of excitement to that event. The Reno Philharmonic Guild also does Wine with the Maestro, and what Barry brings to these events is something that's really spectacular. Not many people have that one-on-one access to Barry. Oftentimes he'll bring the guest artist, which is really a big thrill, and once they meet him, he has that energy just full of electricity, actually. I mean, he's quite extraordinary, and that can be contagious, if you will.
You need someone who not only can excite the orchestra, but excite the audience. Barry's done that with the audience in particular by bringing in so many young performers. His collaboration with the Davidson Institute, his knowledge of some internationally known stars who are still in their teens or in their 20s. The Spirit of the Season, which Barry began anew some 4 years ago, played to standing room only crowds the first year, and subsequently added a second performance 2 years ago, and that's been extremely successful. The Pops on the River has now been taken up to Incline Village in Lake Tahoe. We also have an outreach program with the Youth Symphony Orchestra, the Youth Concert Orchestra, and in addition to that, the Celebrate Strings for elementary school children. Barry really is a triple threat. He has programming and conducting skills, he helps us raise money very substantially, and he projects a very positive image for the orchestra in the community. As a child, I was an amateur magician. I got to know Barry, I realized that he was a very gifted amateur magician himself. He brought that magic to the Reno Philharmonic, he brought it to the city of Reno, and to northern Nevada. Barry, I wish I had the magical skills to keep you here in Reno with the Reno Philharmonic.
You can give a person your money, but when you give them your time, you've given them a part of your life. You have given us part of your life here. We have risen to new heights, and we understand the music that we're performing so much more.
Barry, you've given us a great 10 years, and I thank you, and on behalf of the board and our audiences here in Reno, we thank you.
And also I'd like to thank you for helping us to take Pops on the River to new heights. Each and every year you brought forth bigger and better musicians and just a wide array of music that our community truly enjoyed. So thank you from the Reno Philharmonic Guild.
Barry, we love you very much. You've taken this city and the culture and the arts to another level in our city. We want you to always feel that Reno's your home, and we want you to come visit us anytime you can. We'll miss you. Good luck to you and your family.